editor now. So the volume audio that you sent me on the message a few days ago, that's exactly how it's going to be on YouTube. And then when you download, like when I convert stuff to YouTube,
Right.
sometimes the audio may get fuzzier or louder or whatever.
Sure.
I don't know.
So right now, I'm recording. Let me double check that. But so again, like you said, the first 30 seconds or something, I took it off speakerphone. Let me just look at my phone for like 1 second. Let me check.
Yeah.
Let me check. Okay, so it says it's recording. I'm going to speak.
Good.
I'm going to try to speak around this volume.
Okay.
And, well, Mike, why don't you take it away, man?
Well, first of all, Happy New Year 2020.
Happy New Year, Mike, 2020, yes.
I know you have emphasized that this year is going to be our year or my year or whatever. I believe it too. Even though that sounds so cliche, because we always say, I mean, not us, but like people in general always say that every new year. But I do think 2020, something about 2020 is going to stimulate one of us. Hopefully both of us.
Well, do you think there's something about humans, because people say we seek patterns, and the fact that the year is 2020, do you think that part of our brain lights up because it's like a special number?
I think so. I think mine kind of lights up too. But yeah, I think it's a mental thing for human beings. Just like 2012 was like a mental thing for a lot of people because that was supposed to be Armageddon.
Right. Was it like a Mayan calendar thing or something like that?
Right. So
yeah.
It plays a factor in a human's life. It all depends on like how big of a factor, because everybody's different. But like it plays a small bit.
What would happen?
It's a game changer. Go ahead.
Right. What would happen in the world for you to think, wow, this is like we're really in trouble? Like if there was an atomic bomb that killed 10 million people in one day, would that be enough, or would you still think, well, it happens?
That's a great question. I don't know. For me, I'm really optimistic, believe it or not. I mean, over the years, I've been a little bit pessimistic, but overall, I think I'm optimistic. So if hypothetically atomic bomb did kill like 10 million or even 20 million people, and God forbid I was one of the fortunate human beings that was still here, I would still think like, okay, something greater is going to happen. Or I would think of, since, I watch movies a lot, so I would say to myself or say to the people around me, it's kind of like The Matrix or it's kind of like the Book of Eli. Right? And I would try to...
Okay, so what do you mean by that?
So like the Matrix, the real Matrix, or the movie The Matrix, the real world was Zion, and there wasn't that many people, and it was all about rebuilding. And it was all about the Neo, the one, came 5 times fire before Keanu Reeves' character. So the whole point of that movie was to rebuild, even though destruction happened to their world. So I would look at that kind of aspect and like kind of put that in perspective if that happened here in this country. Like kind of rebuilding and don't worry and things are gonna get better. That's for like the Matrix aspect. And then for the Book of Eli with Denzel Washington that came out in 2014, I believe, it was the same thing. It was like Armageddon actually, and only a few people were alive. And I guess the Bible was the savior, which, if you think about it, that's kind of how today's world is for different kind of religious people. The Bible is the savior, and how he had to like get the Bible across to this destination so society could kind of go back to where it was, so to speak. So those two analogies is I would probably approach if something happened like that in the real world.
That's interesting.
What about you? What do you think? What has to happen in your opinion for you to say, oh shit? Some people said Donald Trump being in office is already that, but
I think that's actually overblown. I think it's not as crazy as people make it out to be.
Right.
I think it's both sides. On one side, if I were some type of spy or journalist who knew even 10% of what happened today, I would be like, wow, that's really horrific. Because I guarantee you today, like X thousands of people were raped and tortured and human trafficked and so on and so forth. It'd be like, this has to be a movie. This can't be the real world. But on the flip side, because that's so common, I mean, I think any type of atomic bomb going off, whether it be by accident or on purpose, even if it killed just a couple thousand people, I think would be a big deal for me. But at the same time, it would take hundreds of thousands or millions to really open my eyes. I don't know what's going to happen. It really depends on a lot of factors. But there was a book actually by Steven Pinker, I'm showing off here now, where he actually says statistically humans are less violent and we're more cooperative. You know, we're trading with each other and we're trying to get things done with each other. So that's his claim. I don't know if it's true. I never read the book, but that was his claim. That like if you look in the old days, there weren't as many people, but all the time, just constant fighting and physical violence and so on and so forth. So let's go to The Matrix. That's your favorite movie, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mike, your number one favorite movie is The Matrix.
Yes. And you don't have a top 5.
Do you think when you are 75 years old, it's still going to be your favorite?
Most likely, yes.
Now.
Yes. Or at least be in the top 5. It may, I don't know, it could go down the spot or 2. I doubt it though, but it could go. It depends on what kind of cinema movie that comes out in the future. But I don't think it will ever eradicate from the top 10 list.
Do you think there's any chance that The Matrix 4 coming out around the same day as John Wick, right? Same release date.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Do you
same
think?
date.
Yep. Do you think there's any chance The Matrix 4 is even going to be a straight B movie, or do you already know? God damn it, I'm going to be disappointed.
Wow, you said a straight B, not a C, not an A, not a D, a B. Okay.
No, I'm saying, do you think it'll be that high? Because part of me thinks I already know. I already feel like people are going to be disappointed ahead of time because we saw what happened with Endgame. So, you know.
I know, but a lot of people loved Endgame though. I'm like one of the few who didn't really like Endgame.
There's a lot of us out there. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that it's really difficult. All depends on the fan, right? I'm a true fan. I love The Matrix more than Avengers. So,
but that could go both ways. That could make you like it more or make you like it less.
No, right. So I don't know. I think my standards for it is high though. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. So brace yourself. All I'm saying is brace yourself.
Can I be disappointed? Yeah. Can I definitely be disappointed? Absolutely. I was disappointed in Matrix 3, so. Of course I could be disappointed in Matrix 4.
I have a question. I don't even remember which Matrix. I mean, I know I saw the first one. Maybe I saw other. There's something about a Keymaster. What the hell was that about? The keys and the Keymaster. What was that?
I don't know. The Keymaster was a guy who had the keys to different doors of Matrix because the Matrix is the artificial world.
Right.
And he also had the key to see the source of the Matrix. So he was the only person that had the key to see, I guess, the source or the architect. They call it the architect of the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
So Neo needed him so he could speak to the source or the architect of the Matrix, which was that old guy, and he had this philosophical, whatever conversation.
Yeah, philosophical,
which I didn't understand. So.
And the woman who, oh gosh, he goes to a kitchen and there's a kid who could bend a spoon and the woman could tell the future. She's an oracle or something. Did I kind of describe that scene? I know I've kind of dismissively, but is that the first Matrix or is that a different one?
He's in the kitchen twice.
It's a black woman. She's an oracle. What is that?
Yeah, Well, he's in the kitchen multiple times in each one, so you got to narrow it. You have to narrow it.
Oh, the one where the kid's bending the spoon is the first time. Is that the first movie?
One.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, was she a part of the movie just to open up the universe, or does she matter for the plot?
No, she's like one. She's one of the main characters.
So why is she the main character? Why is she needed?
Because she's the one who would kind of foresee the future, and who helps Neo on his path of being the one. Like Morpheus can't do that, you know, or anybody in the his inner circle couldn't do that, but she could.
Why?
And I don't know, because she's a psychic.
Right. So
don't keep saying
Mike,
why. Like,
are you ready? No. Are you ready to get deep, or I don't know? I mean, I don't know what kind of audience you want for this podcast, so I don't know. You know, are you ready to get deep?
No, I'm ready. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The whole thing about, does she see multiple possible futures, or does she see a definite future? And if that's the case, why does he need help? Or was it all prearranged and no matter what, she was going to help him anyway? Or was there a possibility of failure? But if it was definitely going to happen, what's the point? Do you get where I'm saying? Is there free will, or was it definitely going to end up in a certain way anyways? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, what if she saw the future, then what was the point? Or was there more than one possible future?
Well, she saw the future up to a certain point, and that's where Neo, quote unquote, was the one. So she saw up to a certain point, like up to a certain line, and then to answer your question about, well, did she help, or was she actually bad, or, you know, a lot of people I watched on YouTube and people who watched The Matrix thought she was like, it could have been both, like, because a lot of times in the movies after Neo and her they met, some kind of disaster happens for Neo.
Well,
and so people may say, oh, that's not ironic that every time after they meet something, or ironically something ironic happens.
It's not a coincidence that it would be right after he meets her. But my question is, well, maybe this is a larger question, because maybe I'm not good with the plot, because like you said, she can only see so far in the future. If someone knows the future in general, then who cares? It's going to happen anyway. Or are there like two possible different futures and you have to choose a road? Or is it all predetermined, and like what you're going to have for breakfast 10 years from now to this day, you can't change it. You don't know what it is, but like it's already written in the stars, sort of thing. Like, what do you think about that?
I think a little bit of everything. I think as people, we kind of, I mean, this sounds crazy, but like, if you want to like break it down to like little multiple atoms, like we kind of see the future if you think about it, right? So today is Wednesday, so we know for a fact like that tomorrow is Thursday, and that comes after Wednesday, and then Friday is next, and then Saturday is next. So how can we change that? We can't change that.
Here's a question. Right. Let's say, and again, I'm not saying this is the movie The Matrix, but let's say let's say there's a movie script where a woman's like, oh, your destiny is to slay the dragon. I'm just giving an easy example. And she says, I'm going to help you fulfill that destiny. Why would she have to help him? If it's going to happen anyway, it's going to happen.
Right.
So, yeah, but is that the Matrix, or am I being unfair to the Matrix by saying that?
No, you're not being unfair. But it all depends on how you look at it. So what are you trying to say about the Matrix?
Oh, I'm not trying to say anything. And as you can see, I don't remember enough about the Matrix to even really talk about this. I'm just asking how much of that applies to the Matrix, but how much is it, like you said, only a little was predicted and the rest was up to him?
Yeah, I don't
know.
I would say bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces.
Let's move on. Let's move on to...
Well, John Wick.
No.
You don't want to talk about what's going to happen? Is Halle Berry going to see her daughter, is it?
No. I'm not a big John Wick fan.
I want to know if she's going to see her daughter.
Did you see John Wick? Oh, you saw John Wick 3, right? And we actually talked about
only John Wick 3. I've seen YouTube clips of the first two, And the scene where Common and John Wick are trying to shoot each other at a museum, it's kind of clever how they're hiding it, but at the same time, they would have shot each other. It's a little ridiculous. But anyway.
Yeah, no. John Wick 3 was a pretty. John Wick 3 was the best action movie of 2019 by far.
I believe you. It's probably the only one I saw that I could even think of right now. But
it has some holes in it though, but like a lot of movies do. But it was pretty good though.
Oh, sorry, Endgame's an action movie. You know what I mean? But yeah, like that type of action movie. Yeah.
No, I compare it to Endgame action, and I thought it was better action than Endgame.
Yes.
I actually posted it on my Facebook a few days ago. So
yeah.
I actually put Endgame was the most hype overrated movie of 2019.
Yeah, you know, I have a funny, you know, online they have funny fan theories. That people are going to be like, this is so corny, but what if Thanos created the movie Endgame so a bunch of people would be disappointed and kill themselves, and then half the population would be gone? That's too hacky? All right, I thought it was funny in my head. All right, what's your question?
So what have you been doing in the past 24 hours? I had a sad New Year's Eve yesterday. I fucking went to bar, played pool. I lost. It was this chick who was like beating everybody. She beat like 4 people, no lie. She wasn't that good. But a lot of people were just, you know, they were drunk and whatnot. But she wasn't that good.
Did she beat you?
So let me get to that. So she beat 4 people, then it was my turn. Then when I came up, I'm not going to lie, I think she had like her friends, her drunk friends were with her. She had like 4 friends with her, and they were cheering her on, which was nice. It kind of reminded me of you and me, like when we play and you cheer me on. But they were drunk. Obviously, they were all drunk. They were having a good time. So I could have sworn when it was my turn, one of her friends said, "Oh, he looks like he's gonna play for real." But maybe they didn't say that. So when I came up, she like, oh, it was really crowded too. So you've been in the bar where it's crowded, where it's sometimes hard to shoot a shot.
Yeah.
So when it came to her and I, she was like, "Oh, it's really crowded. I don't want to play." So she gave her the stick to someone else.
Oh.
Right. But then throughout the game, she would come and play. She would like take the stick from him, and like either he would hit like 3 of her balls in, and then she would come in, and then she would give the stick to somebody else. Like she gave the stick to 2 different guys.
Right.
So basically, it was me versus 3 other people.
Right.
But to make a long story short, I did lose to her.
Of course. Well, that's unfair.
But but then I went to the dance floor for a little bit. I just had a sad night. It was tragic. I paid $8 to go in there, and then there was a bar by my house off exit 8, which was $5, which I went like 5 minutes before the New Year, and it was like, oh, it's $5 cover, and I didn't go because like I spent just about my money at the bar. But if I would have knew that was $5, I would just went there because it saved me. But it wasn't that good of a New Year's as far as just like feeling cheerful, but I was lucky to, still be alive.
Okay.
So how was yours?
So I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to quickly say something and then answer your question. The quick thing is, this guy I work for, you met him, he's Indian, for the Indian restaurant, I said, he said he prefers cash, and I said, even if you lost some cash, he said, even if I lost some cash or some of it accidentally was in the garbage or got burned, he would prefer cash for his business. Now, even if he lost some money physically, now there might be different reasons. We're not going to go into that. I just wanted to quickly say that, which is why I think cash will be, because when you talked about bar, you probably had to pay $8 to get in, or you probably had to pay cash, physical cash. And there's reasons for that, and listeners will know, and you know those reasons too. So my New Year's, I was with a young relative of mine yesterday, and he stayed over with me last night. He is my sometimes roommate. I'll just put it that way.
Why?
Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes. Never mind. You don't want to. Why are you keeping that a secret? Or are you just doing that for now?
It's not a secret. I just think it's funny. You can say what you want to say.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
So this young guy who's my roommate, and then I brought him over, and then he wanted to see his mom, so I brought him to his mom. And then I spent a lot of time sleeping today. I mean, Mike, you're sad. I mean, I haven't been outside since this. Oh, I went to the grocery store. I did buy a lot of food, but after I got home from the grocery store, I haven't been outside again. I spend there's been times I spend at least 24 hours inside, maybe longer. It's pretty bad. Mike, you survived New Year's Eve. You didn't get in a car crash. You didn't make a mistake you regretted, like, oh, I did, something I never wanted to do.
I know. I'm not saying I had the worst.
In terms of sad, like, oh, please, that's. I get what you're saying. Like, you didn't.
But I had Domino's today and I had Domino's yesterday, which is crazy.
Yeah, cheese is addictive. But I talked to my mom, and then of course I got in an argument, and I felt bad, and she called back and was like, "I love you, and I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye." And she's like, "Oh, I didn't even realize because there was another call on the phone and blah blah blah." But yeah, so I'm just I'm watching the second Lord of the Rings movie on Netflix. When I was younger, I was so like judgmental against Lord of the Rings movies, with Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
And that was stupid. Like, there are some corny parts. There are some parts that are like a little bit drama queen, but I realize that visually these movies, even on a laptop, these movies are beautiful. And that's what and I told you about Infinity War. One of the reasons I liked it even to give it as much as a B+ was because how it looked. I think Infinity War looked unbelievable. Right. What did I tell you? What do you remember me telling you about how it looked? I don't know. Maybe you don't remember, but
I think you're confusing that with I don't remember you telling me as far as what it looked, but you told me how Black Panther, how that looked, how that was
beautiful. Although, to be honest with you, the visuals alone, not the story and this and that, I might say Infinity War slightly better. Because Infinity War almost seemed like a drug-fueled artist or something. And I mean that in a good way. It was like really like tripping.
Yeah, but that's at the end though, right?
Again, I don't remember it well enough. I don't remember it well enough, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I've seen probably fewer than half the Marvel movies, but Black Panther is my favorite. I give it an A. I don't give it an A+, but I do give it a straight A. I give Ragnarok a straight A, but slightly less than Black Panther's A.
But you give Sin City an A+, right?
Yeah. Now that one, I also love the visuals, but that's a really that's a taste thing. I mean, you're either into it or you're not. So.
Right. No, same as Matrix.
Yeah, but Matrix is actually similar because Matrix kind of has that sort of I don't know if it's darkness or it has that sort of like cool. I don't know how to describe it, but Matrix also has that cool kind of. The Matrix, whoever did the lighting they did it perfectly. Obviously, they're not just the lighting, but the whole kind of feel to it. You probably like that too, but you also like the story. I don't know. What do you like the most about the Matrix? Is it the way it looks?
I do
the story.
I like the storyline. I like everything just as much. The music, storyline, the effects, everything I like equally. That's probably why it's my number one movie.
You think it all came together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some 12 Millionaires up there. I think it's number 2 for me.
So I'm going to say something totally random, but if I found out Keanu Reeves did something bad, made a mistake when he was younger, I wouldn't be surprised. If I was in my 20s and I found that out, I might be surprised. But these days, I'm just finding out things about so many people, and the fact that Keanu Reeves is really nice, I'm like, oh gosh, what are we going to find out about him? At the same time, though, if there was something bad, we probably would have found it out by now. So, I don't know.
Right.
Anyways, go ahead.
You're just saying that you wouldn't. Oh, I thought you actually were going to tell me that you heard something bad.
No, I didn't hear anything bad. I want to make a disclaimer. I've heard nothing bad about Keanu Reeves, and he probably is just an awesome person and great in every way. So, yeah. I'm just saying I'm so jaded. I'm an old man. I'm 33. That I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if I found out anything about anybody. I just wouldn't.
Oh, right. Yeah, we had this talk many a time with anybody. Even I said with Barack, who I love, if something came out in the open, I probably wouldn't be that much surprised. It would you be, but I wouldn't be as surprised. Like if he cheated, if they found out he cheated on his wife like last week or whatever, I'd be like, oh, that's fucked up because they made a good couple. But I wouldn't be deep down. I'm like, oh well, he's a guy, I guess.
Do you think they have an open relationship?
No, I think there's this really exclusive marriage, and I think they love each other.
Did you see?
And I think they fight a lot too. Just like media has a great way of painting a great picture with how the couple is. Yeah, I'm sure. In her book and then in her interview, she said like they went to marriage counseling. I don't know if they went before he was the president or after, but they're not perfect.
Yeah. There was a movie based on a true story about like a date they had. I never saw it. Did you see it?
Yeah, it was all right.
Was it literally about a week in their lives, or what was it?
No, it was about a day, one day, training day.
Wow.
And it was an independent film. I think it was an independent film too. It was pretty good too for an independent film, but it was just not it was like 90 minutes, and this is really the day they went on their date. But it was the day they went on their date that solidified them being who they are now, because they tell the story now all the time about how they went on this date and they had ice cream and they kissed, and that was like at the end, and that's what solidified their relationship, because they went on a date before that. So the movie was really about the date that kind of put them together.
Okay.
And that's about it. Now, I had a show a couple of weeks ago, and Jasmine was on my show.
Wait, are we recording still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you want to give a little background, or?
No, I don't need to. But I will say this: there's no background. My question for you is: Jasmine, who went to Whitewood, a school that we went to, how we met. Name 10 people you remember. Go. 10.
Danielle, Jasmine, Lisi, Amy Short, Mike Howard, Christian Gomez, Pierre Marquise Gomez, Pierre Reddick, also known as Mark, Oliver, Rob, Kathy.
Nice. Oh, that's you.
Wait, hold on. I want to do a couple more.
Keep going. You're missing one person. I know you said me, but there's a person I don't think you named.
Samantha Hellman.
Nope. Oh yeah, her. Who's a friend of yours?
Back in the day. I could even say my sister Annie. Although, were we in school at the same time? Yeah, we must have been in school at the same time.
Yeah, we all were.
Maggie, Billie Jean. Just for listeners, this is a girl who I'm assuming is still alive. Her name is Billie Jean, right?
Nah, she's alive. Actually, she's the first kiss. Literally, I gave a girl a kiss, and then I got in trouble. She told on me, I guess, the next day, but she was so beautiful. But you didn't name Christian.
I said Christian Gomez.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't think you were gonna name 10 people, but you.
I mean, I sort of cheated. I did some adults, but yeah.
No.
Now, I think Danielle. Was it Danielle or Daniela? I think her mom was like Miss Connecticut. Did I make that up?
Yeah, she was hot. The one with the orange hair? I don't know if she was Miss Connecticut, but she was hot.
I don't remember anything. I think that one of our classmates' mothers was Miss something. Now, let's talk about that. Beauty pageants? What the fuck are those? Seriously, what are they?
I don't know, but I don't think they should have beauty pageants for like. I think it should be a certain age. Like, I don't think little girls should ever do that ever.
It's just horrifying. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's like it's wrong on so many levels.
100%.
And I blame the parents too. Like,
yep.
Like, I would never, if I have a daughter. Like, there's so many ways you could do things in a beauty pageant. Like, I don't mind modeling. See, modeling and beauty pageants are totally different. I don't mind if you want to have a kid face for a model, or whatever. If your kid is talented to be on the cover, that's cool.
Of course.
But when you dress them up, and you want them to be someone they're not.
Right.
That puts too much pressure.
Well, what if we combined boys and girls and had like a spelling bee karate wood chopping contest, and who can remember song lyrics or something. And then at the end of it, they say, some question about well, if they're kids, it wouldn't be politics necessarily, but some